Thanks for joining us on TVC News at 7. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. We'll start off with the Armed Forces Remembrance Day commemoration, which was marked across the country with solemn ceremonies as state governments paid glowing tributes to fallen heroes and renewed calls for sustained support to their widows and children. Our correspondents from Northeast, North Central and Southeast geopolitical zones, as well as Lagos State, captured the ceremonies.
The Nigerian army continues to stand as the nation's shield, holding the line in defense of Nigeria's territorial integrity. In the northeast, where the Boko Haram insurgency cast a long shadow for over 14 years, many soldiers paid the supreme price so that peace could find its way back home. Borno State, the epicenter of the crisis, recorded one of the highest casualties as troops stood firm against terror, choosing duty over life itself. As the state marked the Armed Forces Remembrance Day, the Borno State government pledged 50 million naira to the Nigerian Legion in the state, reaffirming its commitment to the welfare of families left behind by fallen heroes. In Adamawa State, the atmosphere at the Mahmoud Ribadu Square, Yola, was heavy with emotion as the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day ceremony unfolded. Tears flowed freely as widows of fallen service personnel relived painful memories. Grief stood still in the air as the nation paused to remember those who never returned.
The widows and the orphans, we come here to remember them because they carried the burden, especially for giving out their husbands and their brothers to make this supreme sacrifice to ensure that Nigeria is kept as one entity.
I can't even explain it, sir. We feel so lonely at home. We miss them a lot. In fact, I cannot. So.
In Yobe State, Governor Mai Malabuni, while laying a wreath in honor of the fallen heroes, said lasting peace and security can only be achieved through collective efforts. He commended the Nigerian Armed Forces and other security agencies for their courage, sacrifice, and resilience.
This requires collective effort. It is not all about the security agencies alone. It is about community and everybody, because security is everybody's business, where each and sundry must do his best, because it is all about native intelligence, to share intelligence with the security agencies so that they can do their best as they always do.
Across states in the northeast, a minute of silence was observed, an unspoken salute to heroes whose voices are gone, but whose sacrifices continue to speak for a nation at peace. Jesse Tafida, TVC News, Maiduguri.
Nigeria stood still in solemn gratitude as the nation marked the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, honoring the courage, patriotism, and ultimate sacrifice of men and women who laid down their lives in defense of the country. From the sounds of the last post to the laying of wreaths, ceremonies across North Central states echo the collective vow never to forget Nigeria's fallen heroes and never to abandon the families they left behind. In Niger State, officers and men of the Nigerian Armed Forces convened on the cenotaph in Mina, where the atmosphere was heavy with reflection and reverence. Governor Umar Bago, who served as the reviewing officer of the parade, paid glowing tributes to the fallen, assuring that their sacrifices will continue to receive government recognition. He pledged sustained support for their families, describing the fallen heroes as patriots who paid the ultimate sacrifice for Nigeria's peace and unity.
Today is one of those days that we come out all to celebrate these fallen heroes and their families too. So whatever we can do as a government, as individuals, to continue to support them and their children, is a call, it's a clarion call for everybody.
Wreath-laying ceremony and a colorful but disciplined parade followed, symbolic gestures reinforcing the state's commitment to keeping alive the memories of its defenders. In Benue State, the remembrance took on a deeply human tone at the IBB Square in Makurdi, as Governor Hyacinth Alia unveiled fresh interventions aimed at easing the burdens on families of deceased soldiers. The governor announced scholarship for children of fallen heroes and business support packages for widows, describing the military as a backbone of the relative peace currently enjoyed in the state.
I thank the federal government, I thank our president for his resilience and continued support to our state. So it is now left to all of us to sustain this freedom, and they gave this to us, the plateau of gold with their lives.
Meanwhile, in Kogi State, the remembrance ceremony held at the World War I and II cenotaph in Lokoja drew a wide array of stakeholders, serving officers, retired personnel, traditional rulers, clerics, and civil society groups. Deputy Governor Joel Salifu, speaking on behalf of Governor Usman Ododo, reassured families of fallen heroes of government's unwavering support. He also commended security operatives for their sustained efforts in tackling banditry and criminal activities across the state.
But please know this, your sacrifice is not forgotten. The people and government of Kogi State stand with you, honor you, and remain committed to supporting you.
The ceremony also featured the symbolic laying of wreaths, the release of pigeons signifying peace.
The armed forces have been trying. They always bring their supports to us. Once they need our attention or we take our cry to them, they always attend to us.
From Mina to Makurdi and Lokoja, the message was clear. The sacrifice of Nigerian armed forces remained etched in the nation's conscience. Lope Asom, TVC News.
For many widows, the pain of losing their husbands who paid the supreme price never fades. Gladys Nwoko shares her story.
Because my husband died on time. He did not retire before dying. It has been hard though. We have children, up to 4 of them, before his death. He died young. I've been managing.
Each regiment is one.
I heard myself until now. I did not remarry. I trained those children. They are almost graduates. But if they can help me in any form to raise funds, to build a house for my husband.
In Umuahia, Governor Alex Oti acknowledged their sacrifice and promised continued support for those left behind.
In Abia, we are grateful to members of the armed forces for the enduring commitment to peace and security in our communities. Abia has moved quickly from the anxiety of the last few years to assume a new identity as one of the safest destinations to live and travel to. The Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day invites all of us to look beyond the many shortcomings of our nation, but to rise instead in unison to dedicate ourselves to the idea for which our compatriots live and die.
In Enugu State, Governor Peter Mbah commends the bravery and sacrifices of the Nigerian armed forces and veterans, saying that the nation owed them eternal gratitude. He reaffirmed the state's commitment to supporting the armed forces and their families, which reflects in the practical care, advocacy, and partnership with federal government to ensure they are treated with care and respect.
As a state government, we reaffirm our commitment to supporting the armed forces and their families. This support goes beyond ceremony. It is reflected in practical care, in advocacy, and in partnership with the federal government to ensure that those who serve and those who have served are treated with respect and care. On this day of remembrance, we honor those families who continue to carry their memory.
And we are asking that government should remember and look for a way. If among us, there are people that can work in offices, messengers, give anybody, we can work, we can.
I pray that our leaders will also understand this sacrifice daily, more than just celebrating them, so that we can be able to take care of their families. These are the people who all go out there.
Also, in Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodinma has donated 600 million naira to families of security personnel
who either sustained injury or lost their lives during the period the state faced serious security challenges. He handed the checks to heads of security agencies at this year's Armed Forces Remembrance Day celebration at Ndubisi Kano Square in Owerri.
Our state, they were there for us. Some donated their lives. Some have been injured as a result of that. So immediately following this ceremony, these families and those injured soldiers, men and women, will receive financial support directly from my office as a token of our state's eternal gratitude.
The ceremony, which marked the climax of activities for the 2026 Armed Forces Celebration and Remembrance Day, featured the laying of wreaths, symbolizing the enduring bond between the nation and those who paid the ultimate sacrifice. For the families left behind, today's celebration serves as a tribute and also a reminder that their loved ones are not forgotten. Nina Gabriel, TVC News for the Southeast States.
It's another solemn day to remember those who laid down their lives for Nigeria and to honor those who returned from the battlefield with life-changing injuries. The symbolic laying of wreath, the release of pigeons, and the traditional 21-gun salute all stand as a reminder of their bravery, dedication, and selfless service to the nation. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu, represented by his deputy Obafemi Hamzat, says the sacrifices of the armed forces will never be forgotten.
The nation is behind them, and that we are praying for them, and that we will do everything that it takes to always support them. And that's the message of the governor to them privately and publicly.
This event also serves as a reminder of the ongoing efforts to improve the welfare and working conditions of military personnel and the need for continuous support for those who have been injured or affected by conflicts.
As part of activities marking the 2026 Armed Forces Remembrance Day, and ahead of this grand finale, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu donated 100 million naira for 2-bedroom apartments located in Ajara, 2 utility vehicles, and other food items to members of the Nigerian Legion and families of fallen servicemen during the launch of the Emblem Appeal Fund at the Lagos House, Alausa. This is a yearly gesture of support by the Lagos State government, but the widows of the fallen heroes say they are often left out of these benefits.
Did you get last year? No. What about year before? The governor gave out 50 million naira.
No. Nothing. We've not gotten anything. The association has not gotten anything. For my gratuity from the military, I've gotten all. We are suffering. Let the government, especially state government, we only hear they give, they are taking care of us. But honestly, the truth be told, we are not seeing anything.
I may say partly we are abandoned. But who do we tell our story, if not you people?
Akim Wolimo, the commander of the Nigerian Legion, Lagos State Council, responds to the concerns raised by the widows.
75 million of last year has not been shared. Most of the widows that we had their names in the past might have left Lagos. So we now looked at how can we get to the right people. So we first of all collected the names of those that were living in the barracks at 9 Brigade. Then the Air Force did not provide us with the list.
Following the interaction, a brief meeting was convened between the commander of the Nigerian Legion, Lagos State Council, and members of the Military Widows Association.
All the widows should come and register at our office.
The widows insist that their demands are simple. They want to be recognized and supported directly without intermediaries. Adidoja Salamadini, TVC News, Lagos.
After the break, we'll